Reflection. As part of the teaching profession is that it gives me the strength to listen attentively to the teachers I have observed in order to capture all the needed skills of a teacher. These field studies also give me the skill to think comprehensively and analytically. I was also able to communicate with other people, specifically the teachers as well as the teachers of Bayanan Main, who helps me in making this one of kind of success and experience. Without them, I cannot learn many things that will help me what to do and what should be the proper things to do in a school environment. I am very thankful that this FS 5 and 6 guides me in pursuing my dreams in becoming a very good teacher in the future. Insights. In teaching, our role as a teacher is not only to talk, teach, record grades, and submit it to the authority. The main purpose of teaching is focus on the learners. They are the center of our instruction. That is why we must know their nature and how they act in school. Teaching doesn't end up only on the execution of the learning activities and experiences. We have to know and find the evidences that show if the pupils really understood the lesson in order for us to see if we have met our goals. We did not have set our goals without making sure we have achieved it. We need to assess and evaluate if they really have understood the lesson or if at least they learned something from the developmental activity.
Hello everyone, I'm Mary Joy Benliro, taking up a Bachelor of Elementary Education. Being a student of FS 5 and 6, I believe that the activities on this book help me to mold my self-esteem to become 21st century teacher in the future. I believe in the saying of Albert Einstein, and I quote, "Education is not about knowledge, it's about educating the heart." And I learned a lot of things in field study like performance based on the assessment. As I observed, assessment is the process of gathering and discussing information from multiple and diverse sources in order to develop a deep understanding of what learners know, understand, and can do with their knowledge as a result of their educational experiences and used to improve their learning. I'm thankful to have this subject because I encounter a lot of teachers from private and public school and also the barangay and a lot of activities that we take. They give me an advice that I can use in the future.
Hi, I am Angela de la Serna, FS 5 and 6 student. I have observed 3 elementary schools. First one is the Bayaran Elementary School. The way of teaching is more on traditional because maybe the teacher has an age already. The second one was in San Beda, grade 4. The teachers in math and Filipino are both newly grads. That's why the approach is up to date. The third one is in St. Bernadette, grade 5. The mixture of old and new ways to teach. I have realized that FS is very necessary for us education students to see and get some new techniques and add knowledge through observation. I want to be like the newly graduate teacher of San Beda and St. Bernadette that has a passion to teach children.
I'm Merjim B. Hasildo, fourth year student, BE Ed. I'm observed on FS 5 and 6 in Bayanan and St. Bernadette. I also learned that we should not always depend on paper and pencil tests. There are some abilities that are not measured by the test. Some students may be good at written performance but are poor in performance tasks. We should consider each of their individual difference in order to use determine their abilities and improvement, therefore in assessing and evaluating students. We should employ varied method of assessment, such as performance, task, and academic.
I'm Irulis T. Margulicia, taking up Bachelor of Elementary Education, students in Field Study 5 and 6. Back when I was observing in Bayanan Elementary School, where I met some of the most incredible teachers, and the class that I observed where I had a wonderful experience with them that I will never forget. And I realized that teachers can do and do change lives. They can light candles in the darkest mind. They can mold beliefs and behaviors, and setting an example to follow. And it was great to meet all of the students, administrators, and teachers in Bayanan and St. Bernadette's School of Alabang.
Assessment is used or done to evaluate learners' performance. It leads to a continuously cycle of improvement of students' learning. The appropriateness of assessment method is depending on the learning objectives, the attainment of which the teacher is assessing. Traditionally, teachers used pen and paper objective tests to assess students' mastery of a given concept. This assessment strategy is either teacher-made tests or standardized tests. It has a specific correct answer or response. As time goes by, it has given rise to concept and turned to alternative assessment that includes the performance-based and more authentic assessment with the use of rubrics. We have a lot to consider in ascending students like a valid assessment tool that matches with learning targets, considering the multiple intelligence and varied learning style. Assessment should never be used as punishment or disciplinary measure, and it should be free from any discrimination and biases. We should always remember that we assess what we value and value what we assess.
During my observation at Great Christian Academy and Sun Valley Elementary School, I saw different guidelines what the teacher has used. I really feel like an elementary student because every time I listen with their discussion, I appreciated the beauty of lesson. Because during in my elementary days, I never experienced those kinds of activity has been taught. By that moment, I am forced to be a kind of educators that has creative and more appropriate materials to be prepared so that the student will not be bored. Instead, they will learn more and they will apply to their society.
Hi, I'm Annalisa M. Picardal, BE Ed student in Field Study 5 and 6. During my observation, I see the different guidelines and techniques, what the teacher has used. I like the way them teach and strategy. The teacher in Bayanan Elementary School name is very productive during their teaching strategy and execute their lesson plan. By that moment, I am forced to be a kind of educator that has a creative and more appropriate materials to be prepared, so that the student will not be bored, but instead they will learn more. The performance-based assessment is very important for the students because they can learn different rubrics assessment, like they learn a particular lesson that gives attention to the student. In my reflection, in my observation in field study, we learn a lot of things about performance-based assessment through the particular lesson or subject. It includes performance tasks and assessment tools that provide structures for students need to work and to encourage them to pay attention to the quality of the work of the student. Thank you. Have a good day.
Hi, I'm Isa Soriano, fourth-year student taking up Bachelor of Elementary Education. I realized that being knowledgeable on a certain topic is not enough. Teaching without a heart is not a teaching at all. Having an empathy is a must for us to relate the learners' awareness about what the teacher's impact to the learners and be able to use it as a medium of topic integration. A great teacher has a positive attitude to adapt the environment. They need to update materials and methods every year so that the effectiveness of the topic won't fade. Routine won't be an issue as the teachers update her knowledge.
Hello, I am Joanna Sitangil, CTP student from St. Bernadette College of Alabang. On my field study 5 and 6 observation in Rep. Las Piñas, I see the different situation and strategy that the teacher use, and I see their difficulties and their sacrifice in their teaching professions. That the one thing that I admire them, the patient and their positive mind. And my inside reflections, being a teacher, it's not easy professions You may face a lot of circumstances that you may encounter every day.
Thank you for teaching me how to love, showing me what the word means, what I've been dreaming of. And now I know there is nothing that I could not do. Thanks to you for teaching me how to feel, showing me my emotions, letting me know what's real from what is not. What I've got is more than I'd ever hoped for, and a lot of what I've hoped for is thanks to you. No matter